guys, welcome back to another episode of Game of Thrones. Today we'll be watching episode 3 of season 7, The Queen's Justice. We saw that these guys were captured and Euron attacks. We've lost Obara and Nym. By these guys captured, I mean Tala, for frick's sake. Ellaria Sand and her daughter, which I seriously cannot remember her name. For some reason, it just never registers. But these two have been captured, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be taken to King's Landing and basically Cersei, because she did kill her daughter. So now that Cersei's queen, it's pretty safe to say that she is a dead woman, is what that is. So yeah, I have a gut feeling that we're not going to see Ellaria Sand make it through, or maybe she will make it through but her daughter won't, something like that. Something where, because of what she did to Marcella, she's going to do the same thing to her, something like that. Because with the title The Queen's Justice, well, it's an episode on this, which means that someone is dying for sure, but we don't know. I don't know who exactly. Maybe it's both of them or just one of them. Yeah. So let's not wait any further. Let's get right to it. I'm a bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't want to see that happen. But then again, I feel it is 99.99% sure it's gonna happen. So yeah. Anyway, I think I've covered everything that we've spoken about in the previous episode. So let's just continue on and see what this episode has to offer, essentially. So yeah, let's not wait any further. Let's get right to it. I just realized that logo looks very much like a WWE belt. Oh my god, they have arrived! Oh, you are kidding! Jon Snow!
Dwarf of Casterly Rock.
Oh my god!
We lost each other at the top of the wall.
Yes!
You were pissing off the edge, if I remember right. Picked up some scars along the road. It's been a long road.
That was Seaworth.
Ah, the Onion Knight fought on opposite sides at the Battle of Blackwater Bay.
Oh shit, yes.
Luckily for me.
Welcome to Dragonstone. Our queen knows this is a long journey. She appreciates the efforts you have made on her behalf. If you wouldn't mind handing over your weapons.
Are you seeing a Dothraki for the first time? Oh my god.
I was born in the island of Narth.
Ah, I hear it's beautiful down there. Palm trees and butterflies. Haven't been myself.
Small
This
talk.
place has changed.
Oh yes, Davos is coming! Correct! He's... Oh my god. I keep forgetting Davos was in Dragonstone, right?
A sham marriage. An unconsummated.
Yes.
I didn't ask. Well, it was.
It was.
Wasn't. Anyway. She's much smarter than she lets on. She's starting to let on. At some point, I want to hear how a Night's Watch recruit became king in the north. As long as you tell me how a Lannister became hand to Daenerys Targaryen.
My bannermen think I'm a fool for coming in.
Of course they do. If I was your hand, I would have advised against it. General rule of thumb. Stark men don't fare well when they travel south.
I don't like that.
True, but I'm not a Stark.
Jon Snow! See that shit? They're also used to it.
I'd say you get used to them. But you never really do. Come.
Look
The mother's
at
waiting
that. Believe. She's a real deal. She is.
You begged us to summon the king in the north. Don't you want to see him again?
No thanks.
I've done my part. I've brought ice and fire together.
Oh,
Strange.
nice.
You spoke so highly of Jon Snow, but when he arrives, you hide on a cliff.
My time whispering in the ears of kings has come to an end.
Oh, I doubt that. Give us common folk one taste of power, we're like the lion who tasted man. Nothing is ever so sweet again.
I did not part on good terms with the King of the North, or his advisor,
Why?
because of mistakes I made.
So where will you go?
Volantis.
Good. I don't think you should return to Westeros. I'm not sure you'd be safe here.
Is that a threat?
Oh, I will return, dear Spider.
Oh!
One last time.
My lady.
I have to die in this strange country, just like you.
I don't like that. I don't like that. She just... I didn't even see her sitting there. The day
You
has
stand
come.
in the presence of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, rightful heir to the Iron Throne, rightful Queen of the Andals and the First Men, protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the mother of dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea.
This is Jon Snow. He's king in the north.
Fantastic.
Thank you for traveling so far, my lord.
But Jon Snow is king in the north, your grace. He's not a lord.
Forgive me.
Your Grace, this is Sir Davos Seaworth.
Forgive me, Sir Davos. I never did receive a formal education, but I could have sworn I read the last king in the north was Torrhen Stark, who bent the knee to my ancestor Aegon Targaryen. In exchange for his life and the lives of the Northmen, Torrhen Stark swore fealty to House Targaryen in perpetuity. But still, an oath is an oath. What does perpetuity mean, Lord Tyrion?
Forever, babes.
Forever.
Well,
Forever.
my maths is...
So I assume, my lord, you're here to bend the knee.
Can you just...
I am not.
Oh,
Oh, God.
well, that is unfortunate. You've traveled all this way to break faith with House Targaryen?
Break faith. Your father burned my grandfather alive. He burned my uncle alive. He would have burned the Seven
My
Kingdoms.
father was an evil man. On behalf of House Targaryen, I ask your forgiveness for the crimes he committed against your family. And I ask you not to judge a daughter by the sins of her father. Centuries of peace and prosperity, with a Targaryen sitting on the Iron Throne, and a Stark serving as Warden of the North. I am the last Targaryen, Jon Snow. Bend the knee, and I will name you Warden of the North. Together, we will save this country from those who would destroy it.
You're right. You're not guilty of your father's crimes, and I'm not beholden to my ancestors' vows.
Then why are you here?
Because I need your help, and you need mine.
Did you see 3 dragons flying overhead when you arrived?
Yes.
I did.
And did you see the Dothraki? All of whom have sworn to kill for me.
They're hard to miss.
But still, I need your help.
Not to defeat Cersei. You could storm King's Landing tomorrow and the city would fall. Hell, we almost took it and we didn't even have dragons.
The only reason I can see is you don't want to kill thousands of innocent people.
Yes.
It's the fastest way to win the war, but you won't do it. Which means, at the very least, you're better than Cersei. We're children playing at a game screaming that the rules aren't fair.
You told me you liked this man.
I do.
In the time since he's met me, he's refused to call me queen, he's refused to bow, and now he's calling me a child.
I believe he's calling all of us children.
As far as I can see, you are the enemy to the north.
I'm not your enemy.
Daenerys, come on. Fuck
The
hell.
dead are the enemy.
Listen to him.
The dead. Is that another figure of speech?
The army of the dead is on the march.
The army of the dead.
The army of the dead is real. The White Walkers are real. The Night King is real. I've seen them. If they get past the wall and we're squabbling amongst ourselves,
I think you just better stay where you are.
we're finished.
Well, that's not enough.
I was born at Dragonstone.
Okay.
We fled before Robert's assassins could find us. Robert was your father's best friend, no? So many men have tried to kill me. I don't remember all their names. I have been sold like a brood mare. I've been shamed and betrayed, raped and defiled. Do you know what kept me standing through all those years in exile? Faith. Not in any gods. Not in myths and legends. in myself. In Daenerys Targaryen. The world hadn't seen a dragon in centuries until my children were born. The Dothraki hadn't crossed the sea. Any sea. They did for me. I was born to rule the Seven Kingdoms. And I will.
Don't expect us to halt hostilities and join you in fighting whatever you saw beyond the wall.
You don't believe him. I understand that. It sounds like nonsense. But if destiny has brought Daenerys Targaryen back to our shores, it has also made Jon Snow king in the north. He is the first to make allies of wildlings and Northmen. He was named Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. He was named King in the North. Not because of his birthright. He has no birthright. He's a damn bastard. All those hard sons of bitches chose him as their leader because they believe in him. He fought those things for the good of his people.
And he died.
He risked his life for his people. He took a knife in the heart for his people. He gave his own...
You got the gist. He basically died, came back to life.
If we don't put aside our enmities and band together, we will die.
Swear your allegiance to Queen Daenerys, help her to defeat my sister, and together our armies will protect the North.
There's no time for that. There's no time for any of this. While we stand here debating...
It takes no time to bend the knee. Pledge your sword to her cause.
And why would I do that? I mean no offense, Your Grace, but I don't know you.
Yes!
As far as I can tell, your claim to the throne rests entirely on your father's name, and my own father fought to overthrow the Mad King.
Correct! I agree with Jon Snow.
It's also fair to point out that I'm the rightful queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
For fuck's sake, we're going back
By
in
declaring
circles.
yourself king of the northernmost kingdom, you are in open rebellion.
Lord have mercy.
Am I your prisoner?
Oh, jeez.
Not yet.
Yet. Daenerys? Unreal. I understand she's on edge.
Our Ironborn and Dornish allies were attacked en route to Dawn. 2 or 3 ships escaped. The rest sunk or captured.
For frick's
Hilaria and the Sand Snakes dead or captured. The Greyjoys dead or captured.
All of them.
Your sister's dead.
You're on us.
You saw him take her. But you got away.
I couldn't save her. I tried.
You wouldn't be here if you tried.
Look at them. Cheering for Greyjoy. I have to be honest. This is making me hard.
Oh!
Did you see little Theon's face right before he jumped overboard? Oh no! What a twat!
A fucking horse, along with Tywin, has made it into this goddamn... Oh, this idiot. Yes. The idiot that killed your beloved.
My queen, please accept this gift on behalf of all of your loyal subjects in the Iron Islands.
I give you what no other man could give.
Justice for your murdered daughter.
You've proven yourself the greatest captain on the 14 seas. And a true friend to the crown.
You deserve more than a true friend.
And you deserve a proper reward for your heroism.
There's only one reward I want.
With Euron Greyjoy commanding our naval forces, and Jaime Lannister leading our armies, the sons and daughters of Westeros shall defend our country.
If you have any advice at all, I would love to hear it. When we have an hour or two to speak as brothers. Advice? Does she like it gentle or rough? A finger in the bum. Not now. We'll talk later.
Even though we're enemies, you and I understand the fury that drives you. I was there that day when Sir Gregor crushed your lover's head. I can hear the sound of Oberyn's skull break. The sound of your scream. I never heard a sound like that. I thought that's true love. Oberyn looked beautiful that day, he really did. No one moved like him. No one had such skill with a spear. Even Sir Gregor couldn't stop him. If only he hadn't taunted him. He could have walked away and left poor Sir Gregor to die. When my daughter was taken from me, my only daughter, I fed her at my own breast, even though they told me to give her to the wet nurse. I couldn't bear to see her in another woman's arms. I never got to have a mother, but Marcella did. She was mine. And you took her from me. Why did you do that?
That's just her being...
Doesn't matter now.
asking a regular question. That was a different tone.
Your daughter's a beauty too. Has brown eyes, has lips. Perfect Dornish beauty. I imagine she's your favorite. I know, we're not supposed to have favorites. Sorry, I can't understand you. Gag makes it impossible to understand what you're saying. It must be frustrating. We all make our choices. You chose to murder my daughter. You must have felt powerful after you made that choice. Do you feel powerful now? I thought about having Sir Gregor crush your skull the way he did Oberyn's. It would be poetic, I suppose, but fast. Too fast. I thought about having him crush your daughter's skull. She's so beautiful.
Oh my god.
Long goodbye, was that it?
A long farewell.
That's the one. How long does the poison take?
Difficult to say. Hours, days. It depends on the subject's constitution.
But death is certain.
Oh, yes, Your Grace. Quite certain.
Your daughter will die here in this cell. If you refuse to eat or force food down your throat, you will live to watch your daughter rot. To watch that beautiful face collapse to bone and dust. Make sure the guards change the torches every few hours. I don't want her to miss a thing.
What are you doing? No one can see us like this.
I am the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. I'll do as I please.
Forgive me, Your Grace. The visitor from Bravos has arrived.
Good. And we'll need fresh sheets for the bed.
At once, Your Grace.
Are they all gonna have like bob cut hairs now?
My condolences, Your Grace, on the death of your son. From all reports, he was a fine young man.
The Iron Bank didn't send you here to offer condolences.
Condolences and congratulations. The Iron Bank appreciates how you cast off the yoke of superstition, freeing the crown from elements who sought to subvert the rule of law.
The destruction of the Sept of Baelor was a tragic accident.
Indeed. But sometimes tragedies are necessary. Both know how expensive war can be.
And we both know gold wins wars.
Your vaults are empty. Your late husband's profligacy saw to that. Your wealthiest allies, the Tyrells, are now your enemies. You are surrounded on all sides by rivals for the throne. We invest in endeavors we deem likely to be successful.
A fancy way of saying bet. The war's already begun. I've drawn first blood. My armada owns the Narrow Sea.
Euron Greyjoy's armada owns the Narrow Sea.
Euron Greyjoy is loyal to me.
For now. Daenerys Targaryen has 3 full-grown dragons. How well do wooden ships fare against fire-breathing dragons?
Her dragons might not be as invulnerable as some think. You want to invest in her. I'm guessing the Iron Bank invested considerable gold in the slave trade. How are your profits?
The slave trade has entered a downturn, it's true.
From what I gather, she considers herself more of a revolutionary than a monarch. The Lannisters owe the Iron Bank quite a lot of money, but Lannisters always pay their debts.
Your father's daughter, indeed.
Give me a fortnight. Stay in King's Landing as my honored guest, and when you return to Bravos, I swear to you, my debt will be paid in full.
How exactly?
I came down here to brood over my failure to predict the Greyjoy attack. You're making it difficult. You look a lot better brooding than I do. You make me feel like I'm failing at brooding over failing.
I'm a prisoner on this island. He took my ship.
I wouldn't say we took your ship.
I'm not playing word games with you. The dead are coming for us all.
Why don't you figure out what to do about my missing fleet and murdered allies? And I'll figure out what to do about your walking dead men.
You probably don't believe me.
I do, actually.
You didn't before. Grumpkins and Snarks, you called them. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
You said it was all nonsense.
But then Mormont saw them, and you saw them, and I trust the eyes of an honest man more than I trust what everybody knows.
How do I convince people who don't know me that an enemy they don't believe in is coming to kill them all?
White Walkers, the Night King, Army of the Dead. It's almost a relief to confront a comfortable, familiar monster like my sister.
I need to help prepare my people for what's coming. I can't help them from here.
It seems unlikely that you became king in the north by giving up that easily.
Everyone told me to learn from my father's mistakes. Don't go south. Don't answer a summons from the Mad King's daughter, a foreign invader. And here I am.
Daenerys could have sailed for Westeros long ago, but she didn't. Instead, she stayed where she was and saved many people from horrible fates.
Exactly.
Some of whom are on this island with us right now. While you're our guest here, you might consider asking them what they think of the Mad King's daughter. She protects people from monsters, just as you do. That's why she came here. And she's not about to head north to fight an enemy she's never seen on the word of a man she doesn't know. After a single meeting, it's not a reasonable thing to ask.
That makes so much sense, actually.
Maybe you are a northern fool. I'm asking if there's something I can do to help you.
Dragon glass.
Yes.
Yes.
Volcanic glass. Obsidian. He says you have a tremendous amount of it here.
Why are we talking about glass? And what does the king in the north want with dragon glass?
Apparently, it can be turned into weapons that kill White Walkers and their foot soldiers. Or stop them. Destroy them. Unsure about the nomenclature.
Shatters them.
And what do you think about this army of the dead and White Walkers, Night Kings?
I'd very much like
Night
to believe
King.
that Jon Snow is wrong. But a wise man once said that you should never believe a thing simply because you want to believe it.
Is that you?
Which wise man said this?
I don't remember.
Are you trying to present your own statements as ancient wisdom?
Never do that.
I love it.
To you. The reason I believe Jon Snow is because he's here. Let him mine the dragon glass. If he's wrong, it's worthless. You didn't even know it was here. It's nothing to you.
Exactly, actually.
Give him something. By giving him nothing, take a step toward a more productive relationship with a possible ally.
What was that Sir Davos said about taking a knife in the heart for his people?
Yes, you...
Did you notice that?
Yes.
You must allow them their flights of fancy. It's dreary in the north.
No, babe. He died. He actually died. This is the goal. One-on-one. One-on-one. One-on-one.
Amazing thing to see.
I named them for my brothers, Viserys and Rhaegar. They're both gone now.
Yes.
You lost 2 brothers as well.
Yes, we did.
People thought dragons were gone forever, but here they are.
You've been talking to Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my hand.
He enjoys talking.
We all enjoy what we're good at.
No, I don't.
You know I'm not going to let Cersei stay on the Iron Throne.
I never expected that you would.
And I haven't changed my mind about which kingdoms belong to that throne.
I haven't either.
I will allow you to mine the dragon glass and forge weapons from it.
Okay.
Any resources or men you need, I will provide for you.
So you believe me then about the Night King and the army of the dead?
Not necessarily.
You'd better get to work, Jon Snow.
This is her way of showing a guest something.
How much do we have?
4,000 bushels, my lady.
What does that mean?
For the current occupants of the castle, it's enough food for a year, perhaps more.
What's the longest winter in the past 100 years?
I'm not entirely certain. I'll check Mesa Lewin's records.
Get to it there,
You're
mister.
telling me we don't have enough food. Especially not if the armies of the north come back to defend Winterfell.
No, my lady, most likely not.
And we must prepare for that eventuality. We need to start building up our grain stores with regular shipments from every keep in the north. If we don't use it by winter's end, we'll give it back to them. But if the entire north has to flee to Winterfell, they won't have enough time to bring wagon loads of grain with them.
Very wise, my lady.
Yes.
Mr. Walken, you'll speak to it? Are they covering those breastplates in leather?
No, my lady.
Shouldn't they be? Once the real cold comes?
They should indeed. Pardon me, my lady.
Wow.
Do that. Fasten their leather on these.
Well done,
Command
Sansa.
suits you. I know Cersei better than anyone here. If you turn your back on her...
You don't know Cersei better than anyone here.
I only meant to say...
That the woman who murdered my mother, father, and brother is dangerous. Thank you for your wise counsel.
Either the dead will defeat the living, in which case... all our troubles come to an end. Or life will win out. And what then? Don't fight in the north. Or the south. Everyone is your enemy. Everyone is your friend. Every possible series of events is happening all at once. Live that way, and nothing will surprise you. Everything that happens will be something that you've seen before.
Do you really think that you can keep your charade? What?
Hello, Sansa.
I wish John were here.
Yes. I need to speak to him.
Your father's last living true-born son. You're Lord of Winterfell now.
I can never be Lord of Winterfell.
What?
I can never be Lord of anything. I'm the three-eyed raven.
I don't know what that means.
It means I can see everything. Everything that's ever happened to everyone. Everything that's happening right now. It's all pieces now. Fragments. I need to learn to see better. When the long night comes again, I need to be ready.
Bran.
I'm sorry for all that's happened to you. I'm sorry it had to happen here, in our home. It was so beautiful that night. Snow falling. Just like now. And you were so beautiful. In your white wedding dress.
Does it hurt?
A bit. Less than before.
The infection no longer appears to be active. Unusual. Unlikely. One could almost be forgiven for thinking that the entire upper layer of diseased skin was debrided.
I just started feeling better. I assumed it was the rest that did it.
Wow.
And the climate.
Free to go, sir. This chamber is needed for the infectious, which you are no longer.
Darling, you did it.
The bad is in.
Where will you go?
I've surrendered to this sickness the moment I first saw it. I knew it would kill me. Daenerys Stormborn convinced me otherwise. The only place for me is back with her. I owe my life. Her. And you. Perhaps our paths will cross again.
I hope they do.
Who told you to treat him?
No one.
Who forbade you or anyone to attempt to treat him?
I seem to remember you.
But you treated him anyway.
I did, yes.
You could have infected yourself and others. You could have devastated the entire citadel. But you didn't. It's a meticulous, difficult procedure. Many maesters whose chains are heavy with healing links have attempted it and failed.
That man is alive because of you. You should be proud. Thank you, Archmaester.
Come here.
Oh, he deserves it, man.
All these manuscripts and scrolls are rotting away. I need you to make copies of them. You were expecting a reward.
But at least to read some
Your
books.
reward is not being immediately expelled from the Citadel.
Your Grace, he's already destroyed a good portion of our fleet. To send our remaining ships after him.
I'm not talking about sending our ships after him.
You're not suggesting you and your dragon.
Would you have to go yourself? Euron's ships could be anywhere, or in more than one place.
I wouldn't be alone. I would have Drogon, Viserion, and Rhaegal. What can anyone do to them?
They can still do something to you. It only takes one arrow.
It's too great a risk. You're too important.
What about Castle Rock?
The Unsullied will be there soon. They know we're coming.
Yes. Cersei believes my sole purpose in life is to destroy House Lannister. She will be ready.
Believes it's actually what you are trying to do there.
No one has ever taken the Rock. The Lannister army is still the army my father built. Well-trained and well-provisioned. 10,000 men at least. They will see us coming. They will be ready. The fight up the walls will be hard. he will be at a disadvantage. Many
Oh,
men will
God.
die. Just as my father said they would. He built our house up from near ruin. He built our army. He built Casterly Rock as we know it. But he didn't build the sewers. That was beneath him. So he gave the job to the lowest person he could find. Me. He was right. I was low.
No pun
Women
intended.
mostly. They weren't welcome at the Rock. Father disapproved of that sort of behavior. Couldn't walk them through the front gates. I couldn't have them in my chambers. So in the process of building the sewers, I threw in something for myself. Casterly Rock is an impregnable fortress.
Said.
But as a good friend of mine once said, give me 10 good men, and I'll impregnate the bitch.
From Braun.
And so it begins.
Oh my God, look at that. Look at that, they attacked.
They will face the bulk of the Lannister forces. They will be outnumbered. The Unsullied will be fighting for something greater.
Oh.
They will be fighting for freedom and the person who gave it to them.
Yes.
They will be fighting for you. That is why they will triumph.
Holy frick! Oh shit, they did it! Put the Targaryen back. What is it? Oh my God!
Where are they? Where are the rest of the Lannisters?
I thought they took it! Oh, so you've got the Tarleys with you. Shit. So they're stealing. Got it. Yeah, take what's yours. Yeah, okay. That's exactly what people do.
And now the rains weep o'er our halls. Did we fight well?
As well as could be expected.
It was never our forte. Golden roses, indeed. Your brother and his new queen thought you would be defending Casterly Rock.
The truth is, Casterly Rock isn't worth much anymore.
So you just let them take it.
For now, they won't be able to hold it. Eventually, they'll be forced to abandon their position and march all the way across Westeros.
And you took your army, your real army, and went where they weren't.
As Robb Stark did to me at Whispering Wood. There are always lessons in failures.
Yes. If he was so clever, why didn't he take High Garden the moment your gold mines ran dry? I suppose I'll be able to ask him myself soon enough. No more learning from my mistakes, eh? How will you do it? That was Joffrey's sword, wasn't it? Not that he ever used it. What did he call it?
Widow's Wail.
Widow's Wail.
He really was a cunt, wasn't he? I did unspeakable things to protect my family, or watch them being done on my orders. I never lost a night's sleep over them. They were necessary, and whatever I imagined necessary for the safety of House Tyrell, I did. But your sister has done things I was incapable of imagining. That was my prize mistake. A failure of imagination. She's a monster, you do know that.
To you, I'm sure. To others as well.
You love her. You really do love her. You poor fool. She'll be the end of you.
Possibly. Not much to be gained from discussing it with you, though, is there?
What better guarantee could you have that the things you say will never leave this room? But perhaps you're right. If she's driven you this far, it's gone beyond your control. She's a disease. How will it happen? Will there be pain?
No, I made sure of that.
That's good. I'd hate to die like your son, clawing at my neck, foam and bile spilling from my mouth, eyes blood red, skin purple. Must have been horrible for you, as a king's guard, as a father. Not at all what I intended. You see, I'd never seen the poison work before. Tell Cersei. I wanted to know it was me.
Oh, God. I don't know why, man. I really liked Olenna, and for her to just, for her to just go like that. I don't know, like, you know, no death in any way is justifiable for your favorite character, but I just feel like in the previous, like, at least season 6, 7, they've not been able to, and even in season 5, not been able to really enjoy Olenna because she was so busy trying to, you know, save her granddaughter. But it wasn't even saving, she didn't even do that. And it's just so, like, for Olenna's character, I just felt like there should have been more, and I wanted her to be like on top of it, but but the fact that she told that she was the one who killed Joffrey after she drank the poison and after him talking it out of all the flaying, oh my God. I think now Cersei will hate Jaime for so their plan of action to pay, Lannister always pays their debts, is taking the Tyrell High Garden and taking all their gold and giving it to the Iron Bank. I guess this is what I mean, it's not something that I should be like complaining, because that's how every single family does it. It's some family against another family, stealing their stuff, looting, and heading to the place that you have. Oh God, I can't even make a full, like, sorry, it's just I'm having a moment, apologies. But yeah, that was, I seriously only thought that the only death that we would be seeing in terms of Queen's Justice was either both Ilaria and her daughter, or one or the other, but it was one or the other. It was the daughter watching her, oh my God. So she has to watch her daughter die, and she will be alive, and they will change the torches every, you know, I should have figured, because I didn't say it, but you know, Cersei's lips were so pink. I just thought that it was the lighting, but because some people's lips are actually that pink, and I thought it was her lips as well, but oh my God. It's hard to watch. Like, Cersei in that way is very smart, and she's not only destroyed Ilaria and the Greyjoy fleet, she has taken High Garden. Euron's fleet is crushing the remaining ships with the Greyjoy, with the Unsullied. Sorry, they have still some ships left in Dragonstone, but whatever ships were there with the Greyjoys, with the Castle Rock. And on top of that, she is finding a solution to take down the dragon, take down Daenerys. At this point, I'm seriously questioning Daenerys. Like, it's making me rethink everything about this about her ruling. Like, I feel like she is going to be the surviving end of this war. It's actually, I did not, like, in two episodes, from last episode to this episode, Daenerys has, like, Tyrion has mentioned all these things. He's made wise choices, yes, but I think he should have understood what kind of person Cersei is, and knowing that Cersei knows that he is her hand, he has to think twice ahead in terms of Cersei. He should have found out, oh, for fuck's sake, sorry. He should have found out about Euron somehow. And yes, he does admit it, but now with Casterly Rock, and when Daenerys was like, we don't know where Euron will be heading. You should, I don't know, like, could he have not anticipated because now they know that Euron has attacked Ellaria and the Greyjoy's fleet, part of their fleet, right? Only 2-3 ships escaped and whatnot. Why didn't they think that they would send the rest of their fleet, like how you are sending the rest of your fleet to take Casterly Rock? Why did they not think that they could have sent them to Casterly Rock to attack the ships? That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think, like, did they think they would be, like, successful? Actually look like it, but do they think it would be successful by just taking Casterly Rock through the sewers? It was a smart plan to find the weak spot of Casterly Rock and take it. They didn't even bother sending the strongest Lannister army to go to Casterly Rock to take it. Because now they've taken High Garden, and you see the Tullys, the Tarleys. Who are the Tullys? Tarly and Tyrell. Where is this Tully in my head from? Oh, my teacher, sorry, my English teacher from school. God. In terms of High Garden, you could see that the Tarleys, they broke their oath to High Garden, like to the Tyrells, and went with the Lannisters and seized High Garden and stole everything, like are stealing everything. That conversation was hard, man. And then we see Sansa is like you could see she is really doing well by being, as what Baelish said, command suits you. It really does. She's noticing the little things. She knows the North. She knows what's important. And she's doing it very well. I mean, she always wanted to be at least something like a queen, I guess, in the first season, if I recall. She's at least making the right decisions, because now, now that we know what's coming. And I just did not imagine Bran being here. Seriously, that was like a shock. I didn't think that Bran would reach. Not didn't think, but it didn't come to my mind that it would happen so soon. Or maybe it just, like, it wasn't in my mind at all, actually. Let's be honest. Let me be honest. It wasn't even in my mind, because they reached Castle Black and I was just like, for some reason assumed that they would stay there, but I didn't think that may make their way to Winterfell. But it was so, and you could, oh my god, when he was telling about the, well, I'll never forget the episode, Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken. Her wedding dress, the snow. It was actually a beautiful setup. but everything else after that is so I think that's the one of the episodes that is very hard for me to at all watch myself. You know, even just editing it, I could not watch it. Like, I had to like mute and edit and, you know, somehow try and do it covering everything. But it really traumatized me, I'm not gonna lie. So editing that bit was extremely hard. And well, and then after that, John reaches Dragonstone, which was quite quick. I didn't actually again, I don't yes, you know, because there are only 7 episodes, I should expect them to teleport there in an episode, but it's just, I'm just going with the story. See, like, my note taking is not as much, and like since season 3, I think it's not been as much, because I'm now trying to enjoy the story, because as soon as I like write down anything, I feel like I'm missing a lot. So it's a lot of content, a lot of dialogue that, yeah, I'm trying to like take it in, but as much as possible I am trying to take in everything as I go. So but that's a smart plan from Tyrion in terms of making an ally with Daenerys by like, at least Daenerys making an ally with Jon by asking for the dragon glass and whatnot. So in the end, when Jon and Daenerys had a conversation, then he asked, so do you believe the White Walkers and the Night King? And then she said something where you have a long journey ahead or something like that. So well, I thought that she was like questioning it, but I didn't see her starting to believe it, because all I could understand from that conversation with Tyrion is to make an ally, like to have Jon by your, not by your side, but, you know, at your call or whatnot, even though it's debatable with regards to the North being at all involved with a Targaryen. I like, you know, in terms of foreign invasion, like a foreign invader and all that. So I don't know if they will take her or fight for her. I don't think it would happen likely, but even if that was the case, it were to happen, I thought that's the reason why she asked him to go and get the dragon glass. I didn't actually think she'd believe in exactly what Tyrion said, not in a single meeting, that she would actually leave her things and come to help you out and blah blah blah, which actually made sense. But maybe she didn't believe, maybe she's just like, she just said that, or he just asked that. I don't know. I maybe just way too much overthinking that bit. But I love the main bit. I love this when Missandei was telling the entire title that comes with Daenerys, and then it's in Davos. I love that. I love this is Jon Snow. He's king in the North. That was fantastic, because I started laughing as soon as Missandei was like constantly talking, because the face that they made, the long face, like, jeez Louise, is there an end to this title? No hiccups right now. But anyhow, that was that makes sense. And then Melisandre said she brought ice and fire together. Okay, I like the sound of that. I mean, she did, yes, and I was like, yeah, you shouldn't be there at all. I wonder if Jon or Davos would ask, what made you call for us, accepting the fact that Tyrion will say that you are a great ally and whatnot. But I wonder if they will dive into the topic where it was like Melisandre was the one who told them to, you know, send or like advised Daenerys to contact Jon Snow, because it wasn't Tyrion's idea, it was Melisandre's. Then again, I also wonder, what if Melisandre's prophecy for her to bring ice and fire together, fine. But what if Melisandre didn't do that? She stops believing altogether about everything, and then once she was banished from the North, and she was just heading south. She's just losing faith in her, like everything. What would have happened then? Would Tyrion have thought of contacting Jon? I don't think so. No. How would he have contacted the North? I think through Sansa. Yeah, I think through Sansa. But then again, Sansa is a person who seems to look like she's a true Northerner, where she is not believing in foreign rule and all that. So yeah. Anyhow, see, again, it's like a what if situation. I just like make these permutations and combinations of different alternate realities and see what it would have looked like. It's getting very Doctor Strange here. Anyhow, and then the conversation between the Iron Bank, the guy, and Cersei. Okay. So it made sense for them to talk about the fact that their investment is going towards the Targaryen. But I think, to me right now, it looks like Cersei is up by 3 points and Daenerys is 2 points. I don't know. I just feel like she's very smart, and Daenerys is, because, you know, at the same time, yes, she doesn't want to be Queen of the Ashes, and I agree with that so wholeheartedly, because innocence of people, thousands of people would like, you know, be a subject to this war. But Cersei gives two shits about that, and she's ready to take on everything. She does not care. So in that way, she is smart. So she seized every person, like she's taken down her enemies in terms of the Tyrells and the Dornish. Now she is taken Highgarden as well, like in terms of the Tyrell. Yes, it's just very smart thing. And she's like the Tullys have pledged allegiance to the Lannister army, and I'm assuming they also have a lot. So I think, yeah, you know, she may have many enemies, but she's very good at getting rid of them, which is where, I don't know, see, it's like a question of morality and like, is this the right thing to do? And right now it seems like with the heart, if you rule, it's going to be very hard, at least the way it looks it. I don't know how, but I think she should immediately burn down the Euron's fleet somehow, just because like the only last remaining kind of ships that we have are back at Dragonstone. If I'm correct in that, part of the ships were gone to Yara's, and the Dornish were destroyed by Euron. Some of the ships went to Casterly Rock, which is also now getting destroyed. So from what I understood while they were showing the parallel scenes between Casterly Rock and the talk in Dragonstone, they said that there are still some remaining ships in Dragonstone, and that's when she said, what if she uses her dragons to go and, you know, she'll be in the air and it'll only take one arrow. I agree with that. I agree. But at the same time, you know, see, it's like as if I'm contradicting myself in terms of like burning ships and burning people. Yes, I hate that. I think that's one of the worst kind of death that anyone would experience, or like in this world, like burning alive. That's not something, yeah, no, like it really, oh god, my skin itches just thinking about it. But it's just the fact that if she can find a way to possibly burn the ships, she can't do both. You can't from aerial view make sure, oh, step aside everyone to a corner of the ships, go through the middle, and then it's fine. Like, innocent lives will be a casualty of war always, and that's very unfortunate. But if we've got to do something, I think the main plan of action for her to use her dragons is to take down Euron's fleet, because they are in full force somehow, and they are kicking the ships we have. They're kicking ass in terms of like this. Oh, I don't know. So yeah. Anyhow, that's been a long talk, and I guess we are going to see. I guess we're going to see. Oh, and also, my God, Sam cured Jorah. Oh, that was amazing. I expected no less. I mean, I was very happy for Sam because this is something he succeeded in and something he wanted to do, and it's more towards his character and more towards his personality. But for Jorah to, because see, in terms of like continuing the storyline with a person that has grayscale rather than being shipped off to Valeria, as they always say, it just made so much of, like, it was just almost like as if the show was saying that Jorah's going to survive, but we're just going to drag it a bit longer. So that's why I didn't fear for Jorah. But you know, the way he was, like when Sam reached out his hand to shake his hand, and he was hesitant for a while, and then he went in for that because now he can finally touch someone. This is months of no contact with anyone, not touching a single person's skin, like, unless it's touching himself, don't go in the wrong sense, touching himself, or, you know, objects that is, you know, restricted to the four corners of that cell. So it was so wonderful to say that, to see that emotion. I just loved that. And another section of emotion which I really appreciated was when Cersei was talking to Ellaria. There was that one dialogue that she said, "Why did you do that?" Like, I think that was just, she kept aside her differences with, I believe, is she kept aside her differences with Ellaria, and she just wanted to know why. Like, why did you take an innocent girl's soul? And actually, I agree in that aspect. Why would Tala do, for fuck's sake, why would Ellaria do that? And oh, it's so annoying that I keep messing up character names. And why she would even, you know, like what Oberyn did was because of what it was his choice to be, like, you know, the champion for Tyrion. It was not, no one forced him to do it. And even if he died, that was the law, right? Like, it's not, if it was the same thing in Dawn, you can't expect someone to do the same. Like, you can't really expect a Lannister, if a Lannister, like a lover, comes to Dawn and dies in the Dornish combat by law and whatnot, and then uses that as an excuse to take down one of your innocent family members, you would be like, you would want revenge. So what Ellaria brought on herself and her daughter is entirely her fault, and naturally her daughter at least will stick with her no matter what. But justice for Oberyn means that you, at least, it should not be just justice for Oberyn, but it can be justice for Ellaria. Yes, see, like, all in all, the mountain is still standing and the Lannisters are on top. If you wanted justice, you could have found a better way of doing it. And if you died on the battlefield, that's a different thing. But not killing an innocent person, like an innocent kid that had nothing to do with it, just because it had it's like the Karstarks killing that Lannister boys just because they had the word Lannister. It's like so wrong, because it's not a, and again, Daenerys says something which makes a very good correlation, that please don't judge a daughter for her father's sins. Like, it's so true. Why should I be blamed for someone that committed crimes like further on just because we share a same family name, say? It's not right. It's wrong. And in this aspect, I did feel for Cersei in that moment. I felt like she was just very genuine and she just wanted to know what exactly was the reason she did it. And it is an act of war, but I just think that was a stupid decision for it to be considered as an act of war, because you just happen to be on the losing side and you thought you were betting on the right side, but they are kicking ass, as I was saying. But anyhow, let's see what the next episode is. I'm just, yeah, I'm a bit sad for sure, but let's see. I'll see you guys in episode 4. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in episode 4. Rest in peace, Lady Olenna, truly. And I know the actress has passed away, don't get me started. I will start crying, so I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.